Jeep is literally panicking, and the new CEO is saying, get something done, do it now. This great looking Rubicon, that's a pretty looking unit. That's a 4xe. $85,655. $86,000 for this unit.
The average transaction price for a Jeep has gone up 58% in the past 5 years.
And we know their sales have been declining.
This Wagoneer here, let's take a quick look. $139,000, that's crazy.
Before we dive into this report, I want to make one thing very clear. I am a devoted Jeep enthusiast. I have owned and rebuilt multiple Jeeps, including a 1992 Jeep Cherokee that I salvaged from a junkyard. But as much as I love this iconic American brand, I cannot ignore their shortcomings in the market. From a decline in quality to lackluster customer service and a failure to meet evolving demands, Jeep is facing significant challenges. My hope is that this detailed analysis will catch the attention of Jeep's leadership and inspire them to take drastic action to preserve this awesome brand. American car companies are slowly dying, even after receiving hefty stimulus checks and government subsidies meant to prop them up. Despite billions injected into the American automotive industry, competitors like Toyota, Honda, BMW, and other foreign manufacturers continue to outpace domestic automakers by almost every measure. A 2009 article by the New York Times titled "Stimulus Winner is Ford, Sorry GM" states, quote, "The early test of what life would look like now that the government is both a producer and a consumer of cars came thanks to the federal stimulus bill, which contained $300 million for the federal government to buy new, more fuel-efficient cars for its fleet." To further complicate the situation, in 2009, the General Services Administration spent $53 million on 2,993 Chryslers, which averages to $17,707 per vehicle, which adjusted for inflation equals a staggeringly $25,613 per vehicle. If you are wondering why it might appear rather expensive for fleet vehicles, which are usually base model at a discount, well, the simple answer is, yes, it is expensive. The General Services Administration said it used its existing contracts with car dealers with prices already set to place the new car orders. It did not get any special owners deals. The point of these facts is to show that companies like Chrysler have received millions of dollars of assistance, yet has there been any improvement in the company's policies, procedures, manufacturing quality, or even something as basic as customer service? No. In fact, it could be argued that it has only gotten worse. Why? I've made it my mission to find out.
In the 2 weeks since their last appearance here, the industry's loan request has jumped from $25 billion to $34 billion.
We produced more vehicles than our customers wanted and then slashed prices, hurting the residual values of those vehicles and hurting our customers.
You have an entire row of Gladiators, and they also have another row of Gladiators. So their situation is even worse at this dealer.
Jeep's heyday is often claimed to be when these machines were carrying our fighting men across Europe and the Pacific during World War II. While as a current military member, I disagree. I believe Jeep's true era of cultural significance, brand development coupled with loyalty, and even reliability was from the 1970s to 2006. During this time, the American Motor Corporation emerged as a key player, particularly with its production of Jeep engines, notably the gas-guzzling yet remarkably reliable inline-6 4-liter engine. Jeep was on the path to becoming an iconic brand, even if they didn't fully realize it at the time. 2006 was the last year for the inline 4-liter engine, and Wranglers from 2007 to 2011 then received the Chrysler EGH 3.8-liter V6 engine. This schizophrenic engine, by some accounts to Wrangler owners, was bulletproof, and some as the worst thing ever to enter a Wrangler engine bay. According to TireReview.com, they state, quote, some 3.3 and 3.8 liter V6 have racked up well over 200,000 plus miles on the odometer with no major problems except some oil burning, while others have called it quits at 70,000 to 80,000 miles. Some of this could be due to good and bad owners, and everyone seems to have the one-off-the-wall anecdotal point of a horribly manufactured engine lasting well past the realm of possibility. Myself included. I own a 2009 Dodge Charger with the horrible, underpowered, high-maintenance 2.7 V6 that was plagued with sludge and rarely made it past 100,000 miles. Chrysler even went through a class action lawsuit due to how poor this motor was engineered. While mine has not been maintenance-free by any stretch, mine currently has over 200,000 miles. Since ownership, I have known its flaws and have babied the car beyond what would be considered normal. In the end, it boils down to poor manufacturing, poor engineering, and poor quality control by manufacturers. Thus, you as the end user are getting a poorly made product. I don't see this as mere planned obsolescence. I truly believe Chrysler's primary concern is short-term profits driven by the allure of quarterly stock earnings. They exploit their brand loyalty, particularly in the Jeep Wrangler division. While I remain devoted to the Jeep Wrangler community, I refuse to pledge allegiance to the company. If we blindly trust, they will continue to turn out cheap, low-quality products at our expense. The perfect storm is beginning to hit Jeep. Decades of customer abuse, deceit, and poor quality are finally beginning to catch up with them. Let's look at some of the modern promises Jeep has offered, such as the Jeep Wave Ownership Program. The Jeep Wave Ownership Program is just a marketing tool to trick the customer into thinking that they are getting taken care of by Jeep, when in reality, most car companies offer similar care package programs and benefits. Some even extend the warranties over triple what Jeep offers. Jeep Wave used to cover, for newly purchased vehicles that is, 4 free oil changes and 4 free tire rotations. Then it moved to 3. Now, they have reduced the program to 2 free oil changes and 2 free tire rotations. However, Jeep customers in Canada receive up to 6 oil changes and 6 tire rotations within 36 months. Jeep claims to offer rental cars for Jeep Wave members if maintenance is to be conducted. However, if you read the fine print, they state, quote, First day rental allowance provides $40 car rental allowance if the vehicle is to be serviced for any same-day mechanical repair or maintenance service, excluding bodywork. Vehicles kept overnight are not eligible for first-day rental. Essentially, for Jeep to provide you with a rental vehicle, the stars must align during a half-moon solar eclipse. So much for VIP treatment. While some customers in the forums say they only expected the oil changes and tire rotations, that would negate the point of the program. If Jeep truly wanted to honor their customers who used to be rated as some of the most loyal customers, they would invest in ensuring they are treated like VIPs. But Jeep knows their customers like they know their own cars, meaning they don't even know simple things like how much oil to put inside the engine. At one point during the introduction of the Jeep JL, when a customer brought their vehicle in for an oil change, dealerships across the nation were overfilling the upgraded 3.6 Pentastar engine by 1 quart of oil. And to this day, some dealerships are still overfilling customers' Jeeps. Previous Pentastar versions took 6 quarts. The new generation takes 5. Yet many customers would complain to the dealer about it being overfilled. Ultimately, many astute Jeep customers would simply get the oil changed, then drain 1 quart of oil. I personally did that with mine.
But the second time I went back for an oil change, I specifically told them I want 5 quarts of oil. That's what the owner's manual calls for. And on my paperwork, it said that they put 5 quarts of oil in it. When I got home, I pulled the stick and checked it again, and it was way overfilled. So there was a communication breakdown between the service writer and the actual technician who did the oil change. Apparently they're not telling their technicians that these things are different now.
How is the manufacturer of a car unable to provide the correct levels of oil to the people who will be maintaining the car? Even the owner's manual lists the correct levels of oil. Jeep's standing in customer loyalty has plummeted, and the reasons couldn't be more obvious. Aside from what has already been discussed, basic services like providing loaner cars or rental vehicles are unnecessarily painful. Moreover, the once proud Jeep brand is steadily losing its clout, consistently tagged as America's worst car brand year after year. Instead of superficial programs masquerading as brand pride initiatives, Jeep could truly bolster brand loyalty by giving back to its customers. Renowned brands like BMW, Mercedes, and Porsche, which invest in simple yet effective measures like museum experiences. I personally have been to all three, and now I own a 2022 BMW M340i. It's about time Jeep seriously considered creating an official Jeep museum. Such a move would not only honor its incredible history, but also strengthen the bond with its devoted fan base. And here's something to ponder. At the German auto museums mentioned earlier, if you own the particular brand of car, you even receive a discount on admission. Unfortunately, I don't see Jeep creating a museum. They seem to have lost touch with their roots as a maker of rugged, reliable vehicles. Prices have soared to ridiculous levels, exemplified by models like the Wagoneer, Gladiator, and Wrangler. They're attempting to command luxury car prices for vehicles that don't match the luxury status or brand identity. Selling a Jeep Renegade or a Jeep Compass in the $25,000 to $30,000 range, while pricing the Jeep Grand Wagoneer at close to $100,000, is a stark contradiction. Compare this to the 1987 Grand Wagoneer, which sold for $23,560. Adjusted for inflation in 2024, that's $64,775. Jeep has nearly doubled the price. How can such a pricing strategy be sustainable? It's not, and the declining sales numbers attest to that. Jeep sales are down 44% from 2018's peak, when 972,227 Jeeps were sold in America. In 2023, the iconic brand sold just 642,924 vehicles, the lowest sales figure in 11 years. FCA's stock never really improved by many margins, and Stellantis is beginning to feel the same effect. To make matters worse, in September 2019, FCA received a cease and desist order from the Federal Securities and Exchange Commission. Part of the letter states, quote, "From at least August 2012 to July 2016, FCA US, an automotive company, fraudulently misled investors about the number of new vehicles that it and its dealers sold each month to customers. Beginning in September 2013, FCA US or its predecessor also falsely touted that it continued to increase new vehicle sales every month on a year-over-year basis by reporting what it called a streak of uninterrupted sales growth. FCA US inflated monthly vehicle sales to customers by paying dealers to report fake sales, which were later unwound or reversed. In addition, FCA US Business Center employees reported fake vehicle sales. On multiple occasions from 2013 through 2015, dealers and employees informed FCA US of fake sales reporting at its business centers. Because of the bailout and the out-of-touch corporate elites, Chrysler and really all American car brands have never learned their lesson on making bad business decisions. Economist Daniel Eichenson at the Cato Institute states, quote, "My concern was that the normal process of market capitalism was being disrupted. By going in to bail out companies, not the industry, we were bailing out a couple of companies that had made bad decisions. We were shielding them from the effects of their decisions. By shielding them from these effects, car manufacturers believe that no matter the choices they make, no matter how they treat their customers, no matter what price they sell their cars for, and no matter how poorly they're made, they are simply too big to fail and will always be bailed out, willingly or unwillingly, by either you as the customer or you the taxpayer."